Hey guys, welcome back. Today let's talk about how one person can build wealth fast. You have seen me done it over 2021 using options, concentrating my portfolio into a single stock. You have seen me done it in 2020 buying Kimberly because I was so sure it was undervalued. In fact, I've been using this method even on gold and silver before I could even legally own stocks because I was too young back then. Even my crypto bros out there who are already millionaire understood this method. Now, this method, it is about taking smart calculated risks or understanding asymmetrical risk to reward ratio. Now, what do I mean by taking on this kind of risk? Firstly, I understood that I did not come from a rich background and I get no external funding. Therefore, I have to be very selective of how I allocate my capital. So before I make any big decision, I always look across all other choices. For example, all the different asset classes and all the different companies. If I have a very good idea, I can spot something that has very low risk and a huge upside reward. I will take time and effort to study and focus on that one thing. Now, why do I need time and effort to know the ins and outs before making a big decision, such as majority allocation of capital into one single company? Being an expert on the subject or company substantially reduces my risk and it limits my downside, so that I can run my winners in taking on uncertainty. So I give you an example. People who understood what money was earlier on, money as a unit of account, store of value, money as a medium of exchange. Paper money does not act well as a store of value when the supply can be printed. Money supply can also be artificially pumped up by changing interest rates and so on. Bitcoin has a fixed supply, and people who understood and invested in Bitcoin in the early days are all multi-millionaires. Nobody knew COVID-19 would happen back then and cause a liquidity crisis. These people all took asymmetrical risks. They calculated that things will play out this way. Now, if you are young and poor, but you have a steady amount of salary coming in, diversifying is not going to help you become rich. I'm sorry to tell you this. Warren Buffett did not diversify when he was young. Successful entrepreneurs did not diversify when they were young. For example, Bill Gates worked all day. He all in his time, effort, resources all on Microsoft. Jeff Bezos all in on Amazon. Elon Musk all in on SpaceX and Tesla. It is do or die for them. When they succeed, their net worth skyrocket. Now, when you are young and have no obligations, this is the best time to take smart, calculated risks. If you fail, you restart what took you 3 to 4 years of income you saved up. You also get to learn a precious lesson. But if you succeed, it will easily double what you are worth right now. And when you succeed, you start playing on a new level. You compound from a new base of capital. You use the quadrupled money to free up your time to learn new skill set that can pay you 10x from your work before. So personally, when I take on such risks, no matter if it's concentrating my portfolio on Tesla or taking on debt, I constantly work on reducing the risk as I take on the risk. First, by knowing and predicting the worst outcome, understanding what I'm getting myself into so I can react accordingly. I need to know the probability of things working out for me. If the odds are highly likely in my favor, I'm okay leveraging on my resources, my network, and my time. If you think about it, banks are just lending out a lot of money that they don't actually have. Their job is to lend to people who have very little risk and earn interest on the loan from there. Banks are just a risk management business. Now, to give you a balanced view, let me share with you when I will stop taking on this kind of smart, calculated risk. So number one, when my obligations and dependence increases, my risk tolerance level will come down when my monthly expenses outflow increases. Number two, when my net worth exceeds what I can build up in 5 years, meaning to say my income scale or value creation level does not match my net worth anymore. This is when I will focus on wealth preservation rather than wealth accumulation. I will also focus on building up my skill set. Now, on the topic of debt, I know, and I've said this before, that debt is a double-edged sword. People criticize about using debt is like playing with fire. But let me give you another perspective. Don't all businessmen and corporations use some form of operating leverage or debt? They use other people's money to make extra money because they have the skill set and a lucrative system. Some people use debt to fund liabilities. For example, using debt to pay for cars. Now, isn't that a sure way of losing more money? And they are okay with using debt to buy cars to lose money, but not okay with taking debt to make more money. Okay, so this will be a short video about my thinking framework on asymmetrical risk or taking on smart calculated risks. I've shared my thoughts on debt too. If you find this video thought-provoking, leave a comment down below. Do subscribe to my channel, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subs. Also, help me out by liking this video. Thank you and I'll see you next week.